When choreographers are challenged with pure movement moments versus movement during equipment moments, we generally won't make the same choices. When isolating movement during equipment time, we'll see that most times groups will choose from the same small list of skills and ultimately create a liability in terms of variety and range of movement skills. One of the biggest families of movement skills is the ability to work in and out of the ground. We're generally more hesitant to go into the ground with equipment with younger performers. Generally, when we do, we often see a surrender to function when coming out of the ground. Today we offer examples of moving in and out of the ground with an equipment focus. This may set you up for longer phrases in the ground and help you with creative choices on getting back to vertical. These compounded skills can act as a multiplier in both IA captions. With DA and GE's newer focus on crafting, these skills will elevate these captions as well. In our first example, we combine a knee slide with a wrist wrap on Sabre. This would easily translate to both rifle and flag. Seeing how, as he steps forward and grabs the ground to set up the slide, the equipment pulls to the back. This allows for a forceful pull to make the wrist wrap quicker, giving a significance to the equipment and movement connection. We end at a simple cradle that can be a point for continuation for any grounded phrase. In this next example, we have a clever combination of two simple skills, the horizontal toss and moving into the ground by simply taking a knee. What makes this special is how those combined skills continue into the knee turn with the continuation of the rifle into the position. This combination creates a sense of flow so that the eye combines the skills all into one move. The impression created lets the viewer connect movement and equipment over time. This is a great start to a phrase motivated by flow. Here we combine a sit to the back with a pull toss. See how the prep sets the weight of the rifle butt up for the pull toss to the back. The switch in the feet combined with the switch in the hands for the catch and then continue into the kneeling position. This could easily continue into standing. Here we showcase the performer's range of motion and flexibility, if you have the movement chops. This simple pass of the saber behind the supporting leg of the illusion, coupled with the wrist rotation into the hand change, gives a sense of speed that then gives way to the directional pose, complementing the leg line, allowing us to focus on the controlled, sustained quality of the split itself. Bending the back leg might allow more members to do this one. Here's another great example that exploits flow. We see that the pathway of the flag is controlled by the spiral to the ground. The lift on the right side really helps to exaggerate the falling vortex to the ground, giving us contributions from both weight and speed as qualities that supplement the obvious flow that would appeal to both choreographer and audience. The seated toss contributes to variety and range as judges consider the context of the skill as well as the skill itself. Now let's look at some ways to come out of the ground. This is where more of us drop the choreographic ball. In this simpler example, we get the supporting leg set during the neck roll. The weight shifts over the support as we then press to vertical. The saber choreography is supplemented by the small jump that then falls into the turn and the eventual exit. In this example, we see a clear display of strength through the use of the one-handed plank. The execution of the wrist roll hinges on the solid arrival to the plank position and a clear corner of the rifle's pathway. The walk-around allows the performer to move her weight center closer to the support and then eventually let her feet take over, moving her to standing. This next example calls for both strength and agility. Making the roll happen in the one-handed table means getting the right hand as far across the back as possible. Connecting where the rifle meets the hand to the rib cage ensures the roll's percentages. Once the right arm continues back for the catch, the pelvis presses up and over the feet to allow for the turning rise to the standing pose. This approach is an advanced level of skill in both equipment and movement. Here we see a display combining finesse and flexibility. The pull toss from the tip of the saber moving to the back allows for the upper body to set for the roll. Though the head comes forward, see how the weight is first placed at the center for the sit. The floor connection then moves up the spine for the peak of the second position. She uses the rebound for the direction change and to create momentum. As the spine lifts up sequentially to over the supporting leg, her weight continues to shift as she presses to stand. The saber stays active throughout, finishing with the air moment. Let's watch again in real time. In our last example, we have another great study in flow and space. The connection of equipment and movement in this moment is exemplary. It's important to see how one facilitates the other and both work in concert to create the combined corkscrew effect. See how after the pass of the flag, the left leg swings back to get him to sit. Then the right leg swings across to get him to stand. It's important to note the relationship of head and tail and how this facilitates the rise. As he stands, he continues the turning quality by then shifting again to the left leg to arrive finally at the pose. This is not a hard one to learn, but it has huge potential and reward in all captions. As you assess your creative and competitive viability in this time of year, it's important to find your missing components. Let this help you connect movement and equipment in a meaningful way without resorting to a simple carry position. We offer these samples as count-for-count solutions or as simple inspirations. These are yours for the taking. The only price you pay is personal growth. You will honor the activity with your new heightened awareness and ability.